So hi guys, welcome to a new devlog about the control rig integration into TTToolbox. And yeah, as we already know, the tool is not dependent on ALS at all. I'm just using it for testing because I like to have a very complex system to see if all use cases are supported. I will also work with Sky Locomotion and with third-person shooter kit and so on, or Lyra. I'm switching between them. I'm just reusing stuff and yeah, work with a complex system. Working with a third-person template, that's way too easy and you might fail into a trap or so. And yeah, if we open the UI, you will see that I have now a very good prototype when it comes to selecting stuff. And if we open the level sequence, you will see the colors are getting updated. And yeah, I sadly clicked the wrong, so let's use this one here. So as you see, we can select the control here in the sequencer, or here in the anim outlier, or in the viewport, or in the UI. So or, a lot of ORs. And everything is still connected to each other. For example, if I select here, you will see in the viewport, you will see in the sequencer, you will see outnum and so on. And if we click here again, it will deselect stuff. Or if we click here again and press the escape key, we can deselect stuff. If we already moved around, press the escape key again, we can deselect. So it's very smooth workflow on my view already. And yeah, soon I will create animations with this one as well for my game. So hopefully I can then show them to you as well. And yeah, also what I try to achieve is this feature. So if you're here in this window and click the mouse button and keep it pressed, you can get here a selection box basically, and then you can select all the controls later so that you have a very nice and convenient way. For example, I want to have those controls selected, then you drag this over here. It's not yet implemented, but in the next session I will take care about this one. And also let me explain to you how this works. So basically here I have a testing button and it will print stuff to the output log. So here you will see it will list our widget tree. So basically this one. Sadly, that's not possible to exit this in blueprints, but you can do it very easily in C++. If you go to the graph, and here's this test button, and here you will see that I call this function here. It's basically, if you go to the definition, it's a blueprint callable, and we access this widget tree. That's a member of the base class of the user widget. So I'm pressing the F12 key here to navigate in Visual Studio, and the back button on my mouse to go back, or it's here you can click on those buttons as well. So I think it's Control Shift minus and Control minus to navigate without a mouse. And then we can ask this widget tree here and say for each widget, and then there we have this lambda and say, yeah, as an argument you want to get a widget. Again, we ask if it's still valid because we don't want that our tool is crashing, or we have the null pointer access. That's what we see very often in Unreal Engine. Bomb, editor gets closed. So we take care about this with the if statements. And then we have here Boolean, which takes care about is it a widget we want to have or not. And here we have also an array, and it basically stores the widget subclasses, which you can set in the designer as well in the editor. And then we will filter them out basically. If we have found one, so here we say is a, this basically asks if it is a subclass, returns true if this object is of the specified type. And then we say true and break, and then we can print out a lot of stuff, and here we get what we have seen here in the output log. Oh, I cannot show both, sadly, I'm using only one monitor. Like the name or so, and the class type, and also what is the location. Here I had bit of a pain to understand this, because if you say get the absolute position, it will get it in screen space. So if you, for example, let me show this to you. If you move this window around, so yeah, it's still a dog-chitable widget. You move it around, it will have always a different location, and stuff like this collision detection with this selection box will not work. So that's why I need it in local space, so for example in local space in the window space. And that's what this function does. So yeah, it took, I think it was one evening or so to figure this out, because somehow I did not find the correct documentation page. But yeah, there was a forum thread and said, yeah, do it like this. And I said, oh, that's insane. Now it works. And you can also ask for the size, basically. That's what you need as well for collision detection. And then you will later have, yeah, a selection box. And also you might think, how did he achieve this? So did he wire all the stuff in blueprints? And I won't say, no, I did not, because I'm very lazy when it comes to doing stuff again and again. And I was trying to find a solution. That's why I work with this widget tree. And let me show you something. So for example, if we duplicate this button here and move it down, I don't know why it's not, why it's always at the top. That's a bit annoying, but yeah, we can work with it, make it a little bit bigger. And yeah, now we have a name which is not a control in the control rig, of course. So it will not work like this. And we need to figure out how this name is. And it's here global_control. So we rename this widget and say global_control. Compile, save. And yep, it's already working. It's selected here. If I press the escape key, you will see it gets deselected. If I select it here again, it gets selected. And that's all possible through this widget tree. And yeah, it simplifies a lot of stuff. Also I think that's a code you don't want to see in a devlog, but yeah, I will not show it, but they will explain it on the blueprints, on the designer window. So normally we need to say here is variable, and then we can click on this on-clicked event and introduce it. But I implemented stuff in the C++ side that you can wire those delegates basically on the C++ side without having to do it manually. And that's why we can introduce new buttons here very quickly and work on this layout basically in a way how we need it or how we wanted it to be. And in the released version, I try to expose everything that is needed to blueprints, and also to document it, of course, at least make a video. And then you should be able to, yeah, customize this window here for your needs. So yeah, that's basically how the stuff is going on. I really like this idea with those colors here, because they also get set from the control rig. So if we close, for example, the sequencer, it will go back to the normal colors, what you have defined here in the layout basically. And if we open it again, it will get the colors back. So it basically will select or use the colors which are here from this control rig, which is present in this level sequence here. I will also add support for multiple control rigs, and then you can select here and animate it basically. So yeah, it's very nice. And also another feature is, which I'm working on, is the following. So if we press the shift or the control key and select multiple controls like this, then you will have, yeah, it switched back. There's not yet the logic correct, but it will then select all those widgets, and you can animate them in a way how you want it to be and move them around at the same time. So that's what you can do normally here is if you press the shift key and here again, then you can move the entire arm or so. Okay, it makes not much sense in the forward kinematics, but yeah, maybe there is a use case or a workflow where you want to have this one. I have seen professional picker UIs for Maya or so, and they have this feature as well. And yeah, we want to have this in Unreal Engine as well, because for easy stuff, we don't want to leave the engine. and deal with exporting and importing. That's always the version I have. Doing as much as we can in the engine, even if it's not a professional animator tool yet. Maybe in the future, we don't know. But yeah, that's the goal. And yeah, you might wondering, because I have seen this question already in the comments, is this stuff working only for Unreal Engine 5.0? And I need to say no. I also trying to support Unreal Engine 5.1. Here I'm using 5.0.3, but in the end both versions will be supported. I already have builds for both versions basically, and I'm trying to switch between them and see if everything is working as expected. For testing, I'm already using 5.1 and doing some animation work there as well with the intermediate version basically. So yeah, I was talking way too much, and I think I covered almost anything. So if you still have questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will try to make a new video for you guys so that you might have no open questions once the release is there. And that's also a good question. When will it be released? And I need to say the sentence, when it's done. And it works properly as expected, so that you don't have issues. I'm currently trying to get it done for January, but I'm not sure if I will reach this target. But I will definitely let you know once it's delayed or not. I know it's sad when something is delayed, but I don't want to give this stuff to you if it's not stable at all, or if you have issues also, or when a big use case is not covered. That's what I'm trying to get it working properly for you. And if my use cases are not covered, yours will definitely not be covered as well. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. And also, if you already have ideas how I could improve the stuff, or I want to have a specific feature, maybe I can take it in, but if it is taking too much time, I might not reach the goal in January, but just the reason why it will be maybe in the next version. But yeah, let's see. So yeah, I'm not sure if I have talked about this already. So the current state of this UI only takes care about the forward kinematic controls, but I will also integrate the IK controls as well, so that we can use both. Normally you have to scroll here up and say, oh yeah, I want to animate the arms with the forward controls or with the IK controls, and that's a thing I want to have here in the UI as well. So that should be a smooth transition between the stuff. And that's what I try to achieve as well. So yeah, I think that's it now, and I would end this video now. Again, if you have questions, leave them down in the comments below. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. And then I would say happy coding or designing or creation, or I don't know what you could try with Unreal Engine. All the success to you, and see you soon in the next video. Goodbye.